Andrea Waddell here. Welcome to the studio. So glad you're here. Today's video is going to be me continuing to work on this painting and bringing the whole thing into an interesting harmony. That's what I hope I'm doing. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, go ahead and do that. I want to also say I've got a new cool thing happening. I've just started a membership site. So if you want to see exclusive content, you can do that there. If you want to be part of a community of artists and get my personal feedback on your work, I have this opportunity now, which is my new membership, and all the details for that are below. It's affordable, it's doable. I'm super excited about it. And also, if you've been watching me for a while and you feel like you want to support this channel, you can go ahead and buy me a coffee, and there is more information on that below. Okay, let's get to it. So, this painting. In the last video, I talked about what I was doing here. I am working on top of old work. And in the last one, I was dealing with the problems of texture that I was encountering because it was work on top of work and stabbing at that. I got to this. It's pretty chaotic. And the first thing I'm working on here is I'm trying to bring my voice into this abstraction and to sort of distinguish myself from the millions and millions and millions and millions of abstractions floating around in the world. I think it's really important for your work is to really think about, well, what is my point of view? What part of me do I want to put in this? That's what I'm trying to do with this one. I've been trying to do that with this whole new series. So, if you've been following me for a while, you know I lived in France for 30 years, and that's a lot of who I am, that dual identity. And one thing that I did a lot when I was in France is I studied the tarot, the Marseille tarot. Got really into it. I don't know how good I am at it, but essentially what I really love is the symbols and the Marseille tarot in particular. So this is the Chariot card, and that is what I'm trying to do here is bring in a little bit of this Chariot card energy and referencing just a couple of things. So I've got a sort of an animal here. I had this big figure here. And as painstaking as it is, I've come to the conclusion that the big figure there, sadly, it is unfortunately dead center. And I made some little marks for myself. This is a 48 by 48. And when you're working spontaneously, it's very, very easy to wind up doing stuff that's dead center or to some, things that stop right here at the midpoint. That is not going to be satisfying composition. It just isn't. It is unpleasing to the eye. So I've given myself some little reference points here to make sure I'm not doing anything that stops right here. And if I come up here, there it is, right in the middle. Ah! So as much as I found that was kind of fun, I like this relationship here, it's not working. I have to understand that. So he's going to have to go away, sadly. And I had put all this glitter on it because I had to make a decision. This is what I say to people a lot, is I have to make a decision. What is it that I really like the most? I like my little animal friend here. So my animal friend has to be the star. So I need to move this guy over here. So I just did a quick drawing over here, and I wanted it to be a little bit looser, a little bit less stilted. So essentially this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to have to lose all of this. Oh, and then this big bear came out of nowhere. And so then we're just looking at the big bear. We don't see the animal. Sadly, I have to sacrifice this bear. I just want to show you this because it's such a clear illustration of we can fall in love with something and waste months, weeks, I don't know. We can waste a lot of time trying to work around the thing that we really like, and what I've done to get over that is I just step away from it for a couple of weeks, let it dry, and then relinquish. So this is going to go away. I want this to be essentially white with a few drawing elements. And that's what I'm going to do. So let's jump in. So what I've done here, I'm working with my RNF pigment sticks. This is not cold wax. This is just pure oil. And I like to use the RNF pigment stick because what I really like about it is I don't have to fuss with a tube. I don't really have to fuss with brushes. I can mark make with it. I can get it on with tools like this. I can use the glazing stick to kind of dilute the paint and get a glaze on it. And it's got nothing that's going to be toxic or irritate my sad little sinuses that unfortunately get infected all the time. And it gets irritated if I'm using terps or solvents, and that includes Gamsol. So that's why I really love my RNF pigment sticks. So basically what I want to do, I've mixed my white with my blending medium, and I'm just going to have to now get rid of it. Get rid of all of these things, which means, again, this has got some texture to it. So I'm going to have some of this texture. But I'm thinking if we sort of see maybe a shadow shape of my tarot character, it'll be more interesting. But the main character is going to live over here. That's my plan. What I can also say is because this started and this seemed to look like a crown to me, this is how the whole situation started. This looked like a crown. I figured I'll put a face under here. So I'm gonna kind of cover the whole thing. This part isn't going to be that interesting for anybody to watch, but you can put this on that side, just come over, goodbye, I'll get rid of the bear. And I just want this guy. Just basically editing out anything that I don't think I want. I might have to lose my crown after a while, because that's the thing. Look how much I use there. This is also the problem of working on old work, is because there's that texture, it's got a lot of grip and it will use up more paint. So this is the last time I'm going to work on top of old work. I think I'm done doing that. I think it's a more interesting experience to work fresh. But we've got this. I'm going to finish it. Finish what I started. I can change the color of my white now. This is a yellowy white. All of this goes away. Because I only want this, this, this for now. This thing is kind of the direction of this is referencing that sword, kind of his, or not his sword, but that little thing that he's carrying. So I'm going to keep that for now. What I can see that's happening here is this, as much as I love my animal, that color, these two colors are clashing. So I might have to lose this for now. And just have this be just a luscious white, mixed white background where we're basically mostly focused on the little drawing elements and this whole thing down here. Oh, I like where this is going now. I like it. Fun. Okay. That's an interesting relationship, and I want it also to be about this crown. So if I'm referencing this, I might just steal just a few things from this image. Maybe this like funny little thing on top of the crown. This has got like a little fleur-de-lis type thing. And maybe this one just is just a lot bigger. Just have a shape right there. I've got my reference thing, so I'm not doing anything dead center. I like this better. I like that it's just suggested. I want to suggest something. I don't want it to be too literal. And plus, I'm not very good at doing the super literal stuff. I still think my horsey might be the wrong green. I think I want this. Deep dark. No, wrong color. Actually, no, that is a great color. What was that? This green started to work with this. What are his eyes doing? Well, I didn't totally botch that, but almost. Hold on. Well, I'm not entirely sure about that. I think it was better when it was more subtle. Oh yeah, I like that. That's kind of fun. What I'm trying to capture is the relationship that I had here, this way. Because essentially what this card means is all systems go. I've made a decision, it's a 7, the horses are carrying me, and there's also a lot of theatricality around it. We've got these really fun curtains, so that's what I'm trying to go for, the relationship between the horses are kind of in the lead and they're kind of carrying this little character. That's what I want. And because there's something about theatricality, that is why I'm adding like a little bit of glitter. There's something about costumes in the 7 card, the chariot, that I love. So my relationship is going to be here, and this almost looks like it's the bottom. of this. It almost looks like it's kind of this, oh, there's a little chariot there. Just because, you know, we've just got this line here. I've got this thing, and I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is, so I'm gonna keep kind of trying to pull this together. But you can see what I'm doing is I'm editing out any bits that aren't working. I'm finding the relationships between my shapes and being very deliberate about it. I had to make a color adjustment because as much as I love this horse and the way that it was freestyle drawn really quickly, I know that if I go over that with another color, I'm going to lose the aliveness of those lines. So I'm kind of stuck with the color. So we got rid of the purple. And I like this. It kind of, it's almost like we've got the, you know, like a curtain being opened. For this little drama that's unfolding. That is the power of editing when you've decided that you know what you want your painting to do. Thanks for watching.
Cut.